Hi and welcome to APAR. We're gonna analyze Tottenham versus Arsenal, and this is the formation as you probably know. We're gonna start with the player ratings, and then we're gonna have a detailed look into some positions. Leno got a rating of 3. He looked bad on the first goal. We're gonna see that later. Gabriel had a strong game, 5, good in the air. Strong tackles. He looked bad on the first goal. We're gonna see that later. Holding similar to Gabriel, actually strong. His passing was a bit better, but not great. Could have done better also on the first goal. Bellerin, worst player on the pitch, rating 0. He gave the ball away too often, very clumsy, caught off position multiple times. Especially his crossing was very imprecise and led to both goals. His attacking game in general was pretty bad. Best player on the pitch in an Arsenal shirt was Tierney. Very dangerous crosses, had a lot of power, very precise. His work rate, as always, highest level, very quick tracking back. Partey 2. I don't think that Partey knew anything about North London derbies. He wasn't aware of the importance of the game, and he looked very careless, especially when on the ball, not focused at all. But we're gonna look into that later. Xhaka 0. He didn't do anything going forward. He lacks game intelligence. He looks very slow, both in transition and movement, and he showed some extremely bad passing. Willian's display was poor, rating 1. He crossed a lot of balls, but very weak, very imprecise. He lost too many balls from dribbling. He didn't look dangerous at all. Saka had a poor game, had some good runs, and his work rate was okay. But his first touch gave away possession too many times. He looked weak. And the Tottenham defense had no issues with his floating crosses. Lacazette with a 4, good work rate. He dropped back a couple of times to get the ball, tried quick transitions, but had a hard time against Højbjerg. Aubameyang 0, nothing positive. Awful first touch, weak in the air. He lacked energy, and as a captain, you have to show more ambition. You have to show fighting spirit. Especially going into a North London derby. Looked lethargic. We're going to have a look at his body language later. Ceballos came on for Partey in the second half. Had a good game. Always looked for the quick pass in transition, but lost too many balls. Simple balls and weak crossing. Nketiah came late on in the game. Didn't produce anything, didn't look dangerous at all. Arteta gets a 1, only because we had a lot of possession during the whole game, almost 70%. 44 crosses, but 0 goals. And the fact Partey was playing means that a injured Thomas Partey is better than a fully fit Ceballos and Elneny. That's okay, up to the manager. And Bellerin and Xhaka played again from beginning. That's just great. We had no creativity, and the only plan was to play it long to the wings, playing high crosses to Aubameyang and Lacazette. Against Alderweireld and Eric Dyer and Sissoko. Okay, let's have a look at some positions. This is 3rd minute, as you can see. Bellerin, throw in. Now you have a lot of options here, Bellerin. Aubameyang is running to the left, Willian to the right. Xhaka just stands there, doesn't move at all. But there is still Thomas Partey on the left corner. He's not on the picture, but he's there. That will be the safest option. Let's see what he's doing. Right into the feet of a Tottenham player. Set pieces. We were so bad on set pieces in this game. Although we have a new set piece coach. since August, I believe. Anyways, you see Xhaka, Partey, Gabriel, Holding all on the left-hand side because they are strong on their headers. Aubameyang and Lacazette probably gonna run into the box and try to bring them into position. So those 4 guys gonna run into this area. Willian should have no issues at all to bring that ball into that area. Let's see what he's gonna do. He plays it to Aubameyang and Lacazette, and even if they receive that ball, what you gonna do with that ball? This situation we had a couple of times in the game. One of the central defenders, Gabriel or Holding, start the build-up game, and you see Gabriel and Xhaka next to each other. You have Partey in the center, Lacazette a little bit dropped on the right-hand side, and our fullbacks and wingers up front. So an easy pass for Gabriel would be Thomas Partey in the middle of the field. Once he receives the ball, he has a lot of space behind him, since Sissoko and Højbjerg dropped really deep and led a lot of space for Partey. Second option would be trying a long ball to Tierney, and he would have a lot of space. The best would be playing it behind Aurier. Let's see what Gabriel is doing. He plays a long floating ball to Tierney. He can only head it to Saka, and Saka left alone with Aurier, Sissoko, Alderweireld, and probably Højbjerg. And he loses the ball. Another similar situation, this time it's Partey. This is interesting. This is our build-up game. So clearly Arteta's idea is to play long balls towards the wingers, overload the wings, and try to create some position from there. Let's analyze player positions first. Xhaka in the middle, flanked by 6 Tottenham players. You have 6 Tottenham players in the midfield. You force Thomas Partey to play a long ball. So you don't want to play it short to Xhaka in the midfield because he would be in trouble. You want to play it long towards Tierney, Saka, and maybe Lacazette. And you can create overload on the left wing. You see Aurier already runs with Saka because he knows Partey can only play a long ball. Let's see what happens. Easy ball for Aurier. He will head it to Bergwijn. Bellerin has the ball. Just to let you know, they're gonna score from this counter. Bellerin has 2 options. You can play it to Saka, who's running towards goal, and you can bring the ball in. You should have the quality to bring that ball in. And you have still Aubameyang. He can also run into that area. Or you play the safe way to Willian, which will actually create a more dangerous situation for Arsenal. Let's see what Bellerin is going to do. Half high ball towards Aubameyang. Easy ball for Eric Dyer. Even if Eric Dyer doesn't get this ball, what is Aubameyang supposed to do with it? He gets it in his bag and tries an overhead kick or something. The counter starts from here. Kane receives the ball in midfield. He's struggling. This is a difficult ball to control. He's struggling to control it. Gabriel leaves him way too much space. Partey not determined enough to get the ball from Kane. Kane controls the ball, turns and plays it wide to Son. Again, counterattack. Look where Bellerin is. 5 seconds later, Bellerin sits on his 5 seconds later. Let's have a look at Leno. So this is when Son shoots the ball. Leno has the perfect view on Son. His body movement, he sees the ball because no Arsenal players in front of it. And his footwork here is pretty bad. Doesn't have enough stretch. And there are keepers who can save this kind of balls. Okay, this is interesting. Let's first analyze what we see. We see Dyer on the ball. In our half, 25th minute, Tottenham is 1-0 up and we stay super deep. These are all Arsenal field players. You can count them. 10. This is the space Eric Dier has. Guys, this is not a free kick. This is open play. Why is Willian not pressing? Eric Dier is gonna play a long ball behind Bellerin because Bellerin doesn't see Reguilon running behind him. Easiest ball for Eric Dier. Reguilon will get the ball and bring a dangerous cross in. Let's come to Partey and Aubameyang. Partey needs to be quicker with his passing. He always waits for the Tottenham player to pressure him. Then he has not enough options to play the ball. He sees Aubameyang and Willian. So we see on the left-hand side, we see 5 Arsenal players who cannot receive this ball from Partey. It's whether Aubameyang or Willian, and Partey has to decide. Sissoko is very close to Willian, so the best option will be Aubameyang. Partey already passed the ball, as you can see. Look at Aubameyang's body language and look at Eric Dier's body language. Eric Dier recognized that Partey is going to pass the ball to Aubameyang, but Aubameyang still sleeping and one step behind Eric Dier. Easy. And again, Aubameyang. So if you are a top striker, if you are hungry, you bring this ball from this position somehow onto target. There is only one defender in front of you. He leaves a lot of space on the left-hand side. You can go left of him or you can go right of him. Look at the view you have. If you pass Aurier, you are in front of goal. You can go left of him or you can go right of him. But Aubameyang, he waits for Saka to come. By then, we have 4 Tottenham players on you where you can only play a sloppy pass towards Saka, who will bring a really bad cross into the box. Again, Partey. You receives the ball in midfield. Lacazette puts some pressure on him. He has the option to play to Willian or to Bellerin. He also sees that Lacazette is lying again on the ground in front of him and Højbjerg, who is next to Lacazette. Partey waits again too long to pass the ball, goes too close to Lacazette and then decides to pass. The ball hits Lacazette, goes back to Partey. Lacazette puts a lot of pressure. Partey again not determined enough to hold the ball, shows some strength, and he loses the ball in this position. Very dangerous. And Tottenham 2-on-2 again in front of Arsenal's goal. Set piece. And now it's getting complicated, guys, so bear with me. The idea here is that Willian runs down the line, Bellerin drops back a few steps, when Saka will play the ball to Bellerin. Meanwhile, Tierney will run from the left-hand side behind the Tottenham defense. And hopefully Bellerin will play a long floating ball to Tierney, who then will do something, which I don't know what it is. Okay, let's see how the plan goes. Willian runs, Saka plays to Bellerin. So far so good. Step 1 done. You see Tierney started to run behind the defense. Bellerin is about to cross the ball to Tierney, whoever came up with this idea. Bellerin plays a long ball towards Tierney, and this is very easy to cover for Sissoko. But have you seen that? Let's come back a little bit. So what is this? What is this, guys? Holding Partey and Xhaka, our best heading players. Holding Partey and Xhaka, running away while Bellerin was crossing the ball. They started to run already away from position when Bellerin started to cross the ball. So they didn't even try to make it into the box to, I don't know, create something. What is the idea here? Please, if anyone knows, tell me what is the idea on this very set piece taking. Because I can't see it. Last minute of the first half. Lacazette will play a beautiful through ball to Bellerin. And Bellerin receives the ball. And let's stop it right there. Bellerin has only one option here, playing it in front of Aubameyang. And if you play for Arsenal, I can expect that you play a nice curved ball away from the keeper in front of Aubameyang, just a couple of meters away from you. As Bellerin knows he cannot shoot from here, and but you can try and shoot from here, but the best option probably is finding Aubameyang. He will play it behind Aubameyang, so Aurier has no problem to get the ball and play it to Lacazette in midfield. This is a counter-attack. They're gonna score from this. Last minute, we have 4 Arsenal players running towards our Aurier to get the ball. And it's no magic trick for Aurier to pass the ball to Lacazette and nullify 4 of our players. Xhaka, Tierney, Saka and Lacazette. Look at this. Lacazette gets the ball in midfield, runs towards goal. It's 4-on-2. They're gonna score from here. But what is this on the bottom of the screen? It's Partey. And you wonder, why is Partey there? Why is he not in midfield and trying to block the counter? Let's see it from a different angle. This is Partey leaving the pitch because apparently he is injured and he has to walk off. The game is still on the way. This is where Bellerin crossed the ball behind Aubameyang, where they're gonna start their counter for the 2-0. Arteta, he sees that we just lost the ball and Aurier gets the ball and starts the counter. Partey, don't forget, Partey left the field, so we have only Holding and Gabriel in the back. The counter starts and Arteta just turns away and starts to chat with his assistant. I don't know what they talk about, but Lacazette just received the ball in midfield and starts to counter 4 against 2. And he just recognized that the game is still going. Oh, they're running a counter again after a really bad cross by Bellerin. He pushes Partey back onto the field. Apparently he can still run, but it's too late. They're gonna score from here and it's 2-0 Tottenham. This guy here is Bülent Korkmaz, Turkish legend, defender for Galatasaray Istanbul for many years. This photo was taken during the UEFA Cup final in 2000 when he got his shoulder dislocated and continued playing. And they won the final. I remember this game because I watched it live. Not because I'm a Galatasaray fan, but you guessed it, they won against Arsenal. So when I see this guy continuing with a dislocated shoulder and I see Thomas Partey walking off the pitch while the game is still going during a North London derby, you better have a good excuse, because this is not acceptable. If you can still stand on both of your feet, you stay on. If your name is written on the back of an Arsenal jersey during a North London derby, you leave everything on the pitch. You leave everything on the pitch. This is unacceptable. Walking off like that is unacceptable. People continue playing with dislocated shoulders. Okay guys, let's calm down and continue with Tierney. Here's a Bellerin special, playing the ball right to Son. Really bad control in the box, loses the ball. He cuts inside. A lot of Tottenham players around him, and guess what he's gonna do? Yep. This is Willian. Last 15 minutes of the game. You have 3 Tottenham players in front of you. Tierney on the left wing. Just play the easy ball, right? Let's see what he's gonna do. Of course, not playing to Tierney and losing the ball. Aubameyang, again, 1-on-1, last minutes of the game. And here I don't even say that you have to hit the target. You have to score from here. This is a must score for an Arsenal striker. It doesn't matter if it's Aubameyang, Lacazette, Nketiah. if you receive the ball in this position, you score from here. Let's see what he's gonna do. Terrible. This position is just pathetic. Tottenham is 2-0 up, 86th minute. Tierney has the ball. And see how deep Tottenham is standing. Of course they're gonna stay deep. They're 2-0 up. This is Harry Kane, Son, and I think Bergwijn. No pressure whatsoever. They just stand very deep, try to break the Arsenal build up. And you see 4 Arsenal players. At this point of stage, you don't need Gabriel and Holding and Xhaka cover the midfield. Tierney should just play it to Ceballos or Gabriel. But something else is going to happen, and I don't get what actually was the idea here. He plays a very clumsy pass behind Gabriel. Look who is coming, sprinting from the back. It's Leno. Leno one-on-one against Holding. Who's going to win it? And if Leno wins this, he must have seen something. He must have spotted something. A hole in Tottenham's defense so he can play a long ball or something, right? Otherwise, you leave it to Holding. So he gets the ball and plays it to Ceballos. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.